Afternoon, everybody. This is the Cargo Bike Cowboy, and I'm bringing you a little information in this video today about the benefits and costs of riding a bicycle versus driving a car. I've gotten most of my information came from Google, research on Google. So let's get started with it. It says, something I read on Google said that bicycle commuters are healthier, more productive, and require less time off of work, which makes them better employees. So that might be a fact that you could use if you can commute to work, but when you get to work, there's no place inside to securely park your bike and a locker room with showers. Maybe this is something you can work on your employer with. Bring them some facts, and maybe you can help to change your work environment and get more people cycling, which will help their health. When you're cycling and you're healthier, you spend less time at the doctor's, which saves you time and money. It keeps your muscles, joints, and organs at better functioning levels as you age. That's very important because you want to be as healthy as you can as you get older. Cycling reduces your blood pressure and stress levels while increasing your energy and overall mood. A person pedaling at 10 miles per hour that weighs approximately 140 pounds burns 400 calories an hour. So that's great for weight reduction and your overall health. And when you're traveling at a slower speed, like through your community, you might find things in your community that you have never seen before because you're riding at a slower rate of speed and you notice more. So that's another benefit of riding a bicycle versus being in a car. Now some of the monetary things about bicycle versus a car is the obvious things. Buying a bike is cheaper than having car payments, and we're gonna talk more about that in a minute. You won't have to get any oil changes. There's no fuel cost. The money that you would spend on fuel, you can spend buying good, nutritious food for yourself. A well-maintained bicycle will outlast a car by a huge margin. Huge margin. You could have the same bicycle if you maintain it and replace worn parts. I'd say at least 25 to 30 years if you wanted to keep riding the same bike. As long as you maintain it and change out parts as they wear, like bearings, and do your maintenance. You'll have to put on new brake pads and take care of your wheels, but it can far outlast a car. Bicycles have a lower environmental impact. They not only do they not produce any pollution from the tailpipe of the car, but they also don't leak fluids. If you've ever seen a big parking lot, you'll see oil, power steering fluid, transmission fluid, all kinds of fluids that leak from the vehicle. And then when you get a heavy rain, that stuff will wash away and it goes down the big storm drains, and those storm drains empty into our lakes. Well, they go into creeks and rivers, and those usually empty into lakes and ponds. So that's messing up the environment and our water, which is very important for human beings. We have to have water, and there is only, from what I read, 12% of the water on Earth is fresh water, that we could use for drinking. There's a lot of salt water, but we can't drink salt water unless we put it through huge desalination plants. So that's a real big one on the environment right there. They also save taxpayers money, a bicycle will, because it's a lower impact on our roads. It's less costly to have to maintain roads where there's only bicycles versus cars. There's way less maintenance to do, and you don't have, if it was only bicycles on the roads, which, I know that's a little unrealistic. It's probably not going to happen in the United States, but the roads wouldn't have to be as big either. So that means you're using less material, and it would take less time to build new roads, and the money that they would save could be put to, other utilities for bicycles and pedestrian traffic. Bicycles also don't contribute to noise pollution. Cars create a lot of noise. I live right by Interstate 65, and I'm going to tell you, when COVID hit and people are at home, it was so quiet out there. And now that everyone's, back up moving around and everything, it is, the noise that comes off that road is just crazy. I was sitting out there last night, and there was a brief moment, probably about 3 minutes, when no car came down either side of the highway, north or south, and it was so peaceful. So that's another big one to me, is all that noise pollution. Now, for this part, I used our car. We do own a car. With my girlfriend's severe arthritis, she works about 4 miles from where we live. And where her job is, there is roads that go there, but they have no median, no bike lane, and the speed limit's only supposed to be 35, but people drive up and down that road like, I've seen people going like 45 to 60 miles an hour down this little narrow country road, and she has to be there very early in the morning, and it would just be treacherous for her to try to ride a bike down there. And there's only like 3 routes to her work from where we live, and they're all treacherous because only a short way has an actual bike lane. And then you're on very busy roads. There's a roundabout. I rode my bike through that roundabout, and it is scary, to say the least. There's no sidewalk you can get up on. There's no bike path. You're just out there with a huge amount of traffic speeding around this circle. Everybody's changing lanes. It's absolutely crazy. So that's why we own a car. I mean, we've had the car 2 years, and we only have a little over 16,000 miles on it, because we try to use it as little as possible. Now, I used my car, or our car, for this next part. Our car payments for a year total $5,640. Our insurance, because we have to carry full coverage because it's financed, is $1,380 a year. If we do 3 oil changes a year, they are $70 a piece. That is $210. The total for that is $7,230 for 1 year, and that's just the basic stuff for that car. That doesn't include if you need a tires for that car, $200 each. So if we had to replace all 4, that would be $800 to replace 4 tires. So after 6 years, which is how long the car note's for, we will have spent a minimum of $43,380 for our little 2021 Kia. Now, a bicycle, it costs about $300 a year to maintain a bicycle. This is what I got from Google. But I think that cost would be a lot less if you did the maintenance yourself, like I do. No one ever touches our bicycles. I'm the only one who works on them. But over a 6-year period at $300 a year, that would still only be $1,800. If you take the $43,380 that we will have spent after 6 years, and you divide that by the cost of my Surly Big Dummy, which I got about $3,000 in it right now, I could buy 14 brand new bicycles in that 6-year time period. I could own 14 brand new, like $3,000 bicycles in that 6-year time period. Which I don't want 14 bicycles, but I'm just saying that's a lot of bicycles you could own. I could have one of every Surly they make. Like tires for the bike, you only have to buy 2 instead of 4. I just bought 2 new tires at $50 a piece, so that was $100 for 2 tires. And the last set was on there for the first 2 years I owned it, and they're still usable. I didn't throw them out, I saved them. I just wanted some new tires with better tread on them. So if you paid $43,380 over 6 years for a car. Let's say you didn't buy that car and you just went with the bicycle instead. And I mean, there's the initial cost of buying the bike, so that's like $3,000. You know, I mean, my bike was like $2,200, but I've put other things on it, and I got about $3,000 in it. But if you were to still take that same money that you would have paid for a car payment and oil changes and insurance and just stick it in the bank, after 6 years, you could probably have close to $40,000 in a savings account instead of owning a car, and you would be healthier. You know, that's provided, you know, you don't fall, don't get hit by a car, don't get hurt. You know, I mean, there's always that risk, but the same risk is in a car. I mean, you can get in a car accident and get hurt really bad too. And there are other costs when you own a bike. Like my bike has, you know, the Big Dummy has huge bags on the back that came with it. So if you just have, like, let's say you have like a Surly Troll like she has, you have to buy, you know, a rack for the back if you want to be able to carry stuff. You have to buy panniers. You have to, you know, like we bought a little mirror to put on it, little bag for your phone. There's a bag on the front, a bell, you know, lights. I mean, to maintain your bike, you'd have to buy some proper tools, maybe a work stand, but still, you would come out way ahead. Way, way, way ahead. I'd say even after buying all that stuff, after 6-year time period, you could still have $30,000 in the bank saved up. And, you know, not owning a car has a lot of advantages. I mean, you don't have, like, parking for a car is not like super hard. I mean, the U.S. is set up for parking everywhere, but if it was just bicycles, we wouldn't even need huge parking lots. We could have more green areas, like more grass, more trees, things like that. So my whole point to this video is, I know everybody can't commute to work. I know some people live in areas where it might not even be possible, or they may live, you know, they may have a commute of 2 hours every day by car. So that would probably be more like 4 hours by bicycle. And I know it's not possible for everyone. But I'm just saying, sometimes you have to really stop and think about, you know, what could you save? What could you gain by riding a bicycle to work and home and to the grocery store and home with your groceries? And you don't have to have a cargo bike like I have. I mean, you could buy a bike and a simple trailer to haul your groceries home. Then you only use the trailer, you know, when you're going to pick stuff up, or, you know, if you're going to go on a trip or a picnic or whatever. And then you could just have your bike, you know, just regular for like commuting to work. And it's just something to think about, because I think about it all the time, you know, watching videos about the Netherlands and how those people live. And I think, why don't we have anything like that here in the United States? I mean, I know there is some cycling communities in, like Portland, Oregon is supposed to be like a big one, like, you know, the mecca of, you know, bicycle cities in the United States. But I also met some people from Portland the other day that moved to Indiana. They said Portland's going downhill. Whether it is or not, I have no idea. I've never been there. I'm just going by what they told me. You know, they said there's a lot of things wrong with Portland, which I don't know if that's true or not. But I just wanted to give you something to think about. You know, maybe talk to your friends about. Maybe there's a bunch of you that work together that only live a mile or two, and maybe, you know, you could ride your bikes together to work. Go out after work, have a drink, you know, meet on the weekends, start a coffee outside group. I just think with everything they say is going on in the environment, maybe it's time to get more people on bicycles and less people in cars, and get everybody healthier, because let's face it, they say America's the fattest nation on earth. That's horrible. We should not be that at all. We should be strong and healthy and in good shape. And I think that's where I'll end this video. I just wanted to put that out there, and please, you know, comment, give me your thoughts on it. And if you know of any really big cycling like communities where, you know, there's way more bicycles than cars, please put it in the comment section. I'm interested. I want to check it out. So that's all I got today. Cargo Bike Cowboy signing out. Y'all have a good day and ride safe and enjoy your rides.